These conservative women at the end of the day have a self-worth issue. They think that they're worthless on a certain level. And it shows because of the worthless ass men that they marry and these worthless loser ass kids that they eventually pop out. And so like because they have spent their entire lives being brain rotted by a fucking religion that tells them that they ain't shit from birth and that they had to be saved from sin that they never even committed from birth. And they've just been absorbing, I ain't shit, I ain't shit, I ain't shit. And the only way that I'm going to be something is, and the only way that I'm going to be able to be a good woman is if I marry a man and sacrifice all of my autonomy in order to do that. The only way to be a righteous woman in these Abrahamic religions, and I'm talking about Christianity, Islam, Judaism, the only way to be a righteous woman is to be comfortable being under the boot of a man in those religions. And so these fucking birds, they get out there, they fly the nest and then fly right into some man's fucking nest. And they just like, they outsource their identity. They outsource their mental processes. They outsource their spirituality. They outsource their fucking voting and their political power to these men because they believe that their worth lies in the hands of a man. A godly man. And so then they go to these fucking Klan rallies, also known as Turning Point USA rallies, and they sit up and they talk about how they would love to give up their right to vote as long as it meant that liberal women could give up their right to vote too. And you know why? Because liberal women are running motherfucking circles around these bitches. And they're embarrassed because they're lazy as fuck and they can't keep up. And so liberal women of all shapes, colors, and sizes and ages are revealing how lazy and fucking smooth brained these conservative bitches are. And so the conservative bitches are like, oh God, they are showing us up and they are revealing to the whole world how we really ain't shit and how we are 20, 25, 30, 35 years old and haven't done a motherfuck thing since high school. We peaked in high school, and now all of these other women who are peaking in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s are making us look bad. So you know what? Take away their right to vote. And, you know, and they want to do that. They want to just like take away even the option because they don't want us to be able to compete with them because they know that there's no competition. They're jealous and they're lazy and they have a self-worth issue, which is why they pick the weakest motherfuckers on the planet and have the fucking audacity to call them husband. Husband's touching your kids. Husband's spending your money on mistresses. Husband doesn't even want to come home at the end of the day because he don't fuck with you like that. But because you have no self-worth, you let this nigga come in and out of your life, in and out of your house, back and forth, fucking bitches all over the fucking world, and then coming back to you because you think that your value lies in him. And then the liberal women who try to tell you to stand the fuck up, get the fuck up, and have some fucking dignity, have some fucking self-worth and some belief in yourself, those women are the ones that you make the enemy because all they do is reveal to you how you really ain't her. You are not shit. This is not a video to make your self-worth better. I'm doubling down on it. If you believe you don't have any worth, I believe it too. And it shows in how you vote. You betray women every single fucking election, whether it's a local election, state election, midterms, presidential election, you go out there and you betray women because you've spent your entire life betraying yourself. And then you want to get on camera at some Turning Point USA event and talk about how, you know, you would give away your right to vote if it meant that liberal women also had to give away your right to vote. Bitch, who the fuck gave you permission to talk? Does your husband know you're here? I think we should start requiring these conservative fucking Nimrods to carry around signed permission slips. Because unless your husband gave you permission to talk, bitch, shut the fuck up. Since that's the type of world you want to live in, you might as well go over there to Afghanistan. Since you want it so bad, you want to be shit on and pissed on so bad by these niggas who you gave birth to, mind you. You run this bitch. We run this bitch. And you bitches are out here letting these men think a man's ribbed my ass. Women's ribs have broken from pregnancy. And what the fuck has a man broke from pregnancy? Nothing. Busting nothing but nuts. And you let these motherfuckers think that they're gods over you? You worship a man? You worship a man. Could never be me. I wish the fuck I would refer to God as he, him. She, her, or they, them, period. Or it even. Never he, him. I've never met a man that gives God. But because these conservative women have been taught their whole lives to not have any worth in themselves outside of spreading their legs and popping out more mediocre loser babies, they don't see the worth in womanhood in general. They don't see the worth in femininity in general. They don't see the value in the balance between masculine and feminine. And I'm not talking about, man and woman. I'm talking about energetically. They don't see the value in any of that shit. They don't even see the value in education because they don't see the value in themselves. These bitches would lay down and die over these niggas. And that's how dangerous male-centered women are. They are willing to take away your rights, their own daughter's rights. That's how dangerous male-centered women are. They are willing to do all of this so that they can turn around and be like, see, daddy, I did a good thing. Oh, they're pedophilic also. Let's not forget that. See, daddy, look, I still have the body of a 14-year-old. You don't have to go for that younger woman. See, I can pretend to be a girl. I can dye my hair blonde and I can starve myself and I can fight my body in order to lose 10 pounds so that I never show you how much of an actual grown-ass woman I am. Look, daddy. Look, daddy, am I being a good girl? You pedophilic, disgusting, fucking sadistic bitches trying to take everybody's fucking rights away just because you're too lazy to get out in this bitch and actually compete with some real bitches. You don't like liberal women because liberal women expose how you ain't shit. You've been on this earth for decades and you haven't accomplished a motherfucking thing except pushing out babies, which any stupid bitch can do, mind you. Any animal, any bug can push out a baby. But you haven't accomplished anything except for being some man's wife. The man who's cheating on you, mind you. The man who every time he goes out the house has a wandering eye and a gallivanting dick. And you have sacrificed everything for him. And so you don't like the women that show you that there was another option the whole time because then you feel shame. Then you dive into a shame spiral. And then instead of punching up on your husband, you try to punch down on other women. And don't let the other woman be a minority woman. Then you really hate the bitch. You want to take away women's right to vote because for the same reason that the person in class who didn't do their homework doesn't want anybody else turning in their homework. Because then the person who didn't do their homework is going to be looking stupid. So you bitches don't want to think for yourself. You don't want to work for yourself. You don't want your own money. You don't want an education. You don't even want to dress yourself. Oh, Brian tells me what I can and cannot wear. He would never let me wear that. You want to do all of that. And that's why you want to stop other women from turning in their homework. Now we can't show our report cards because you got bad grades, you dumbass. I hate conservative women. They're way worse than the men, in my opinion. You betray women every chance you get. You betray your daughters every chance you get. And then you want to sit back and call yourself godly. And that's the problem with colonizers. They've been lying for so long, they don't know the difference between right and wrong, a truth and the lie. They live in the upside down. Their entire world is fucking inverted. They think that good is bad and bad is good. I have said before that a colonizer's biggest, most fatal weapon is a distortion of the truth, which they have been doing for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, going back to when they rewrote Jesus' story and took all them books out the Bible. And they're still doing it because they're still at these fucking Klan rallies posing as MAGA when really they're just the descendants of Andrew Jackson and Christopher Columbus and all those other evil, sadistic, cannibalistic motherfuckers. And they're at these rallies and they're talking about, well, I would love to take away women's right to vote if it meant we could save the babies. Bitch, you don't give a fuck about babies. If you did, you wouldn't be having a baby with that loser ass husband you picked when you were 17. If you did, you wouldn't be sacrificing your babies, your daughter's right to vote, because I know that she'll marry a godly man who will make the decision for both of them. If you want your daughter to be a simple-minded, smooth-brained, bird-brain bitch, that's your decision. You don't get to take away other people's rights just because you're too lazy and weak to keep the fuck up.